Hi, it's Tom Nicoli again, and welcome back to my channel From Stress to Success. I share tips, techniques, processes, all meaning the same thing here, on ways that you can actually manage your stress and anxiety. Now, let's look at that second word, anxiety. You may have even been told or heard anxiety disorder. Now, let's get this thing straight. This is the truth. These are the facts. There can be no disorder in emotion. Disorder can only happen in something mechanical or physical. So first take that word off. Now, what is anxiety? It means you're anxious. Okay. And what is being anxious? It means your nervous system is overactive. Okay. When your nervous system is overactive, we have emotional, mental, meaning thought, and physical problems. So, how do we get anxious? Well, unmanaged stress. Another part of this is that, unfortunately, and this is very, very prevalent in America, there seems to be some badge of honor when you're really stressed, when you're continually stressed. Well, I mean, I work a lot, or I'm concerned about everything and everyone. Well, that's just dumb. Yeah, that's just dumb. So you're rationalizing and justifying being stressed and having uh, debilitating or problematic stress because you just don't know how to manage it and find a better way. So let's look at something here, okay? You've heard probably left and right hemispheres of the brain. The left hemisphere is analytical, calculative. The right hemisphere is emotional and creative. Like people will say, oh, you're more left brained, like a mathematician or an engineer. You're more right brained, like a writer, musician, people who are creative, right? A speaker. So what happens is this: when you're caught in an emotional situation, there's a neural pathway in this hemisphere of the brain, and that needs to be interrupted. Okay, now I'm going to show you some very, very simple ways to do this. And it works very, very quickly. So in order to interrupt a pattern going on in one hemisphere of the brain, well, one thing we need to do is engage the other hemisphere. Okay, so and just to give you an idea of how this can work, there was a nurse psychiatrist when I was back in New England, in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. I had offices. And she would send me teenagers with high anxiety. So there was a time, this stands out, when there was this one young guy, he's about 19. And what I did was I had him sit in front of me and bring up the most stressful situations that he could recall, or what situation would he be in to get really anxious. And I could see the facial expressions, the body language changing. Now, at the time, using CDs and a CD player for backing tracks, soothing music, I had the remote. So I tossed it to him and I said, I want you to just toss this from one hand to the other, okay? And he did. And as he did that, I asked him basic math. What's 5 plus 5? What's 10 minus 2? What's 2 times 7? Now, when we started, he said the anxiety he was feeling was at an 8. His words were, I feel like I'm vibrating. We did what I just explained. And then I asked him, oh, hey, by the way, how's that feeling that you call anxiety? About a 4. That quickly. So what can you do? Well, the first thing you want to do is be aware and to realize this is not good. It's not helping me. And you want to interrupt the pattern. So what you do is engage both sides. Now, you could cross your arms if you're alone or in a situation where nobody's watching, right? If you're driving, you could tap each side of your wheel and then go ahead and do something that's left-brained, like maybe you're thinking about capitals of states or how to spell different words, or the basic math bit that I just shared. When you do this, one, you're now preoccupied, you're taking your focus off of the feeling, and you're putting it on something else, and now both hemispheres are involved. Excuse me. Now, the physical part of crossing over is it does that. It just crosses over what's going on in your brain and the functions of your brain. So this is a pattern interruption. Now, the most common way we all know of pattern interruption is you're in a conversation, you're really involved in it, and then somebody bursts into the room. And you're like, we're talking here. And oh, I'm sorry. Then you look at the other person and you go, what were we talking about? Come on, everybody knows this situation. But nobody realizes what just happened and how you can use this intentionally. So engage both hemispheres in the way I just shared. And you don't have to wait until something happens. Practice this, because if you practice this, if you sit alone and you bring up situations that have caused you high stress, anxiety, and then you go ahead and use this exercise, let's say, you will, one, see how it works, and two, you'll start the habit of doing this. See, we want to be in the habit of when something comes up, this is what I do. When I get like this is what I do. And you see, when you manage your stress and anxiety, you have mental clarity, focus, a calmer mindset. You have the ability to problem solve and even have your attitude be much better. This is what's needed, especially for people who are leaders, managers, career professionals, executives, business owners. A calm mind is an effective mind. So think of it as a garden hose just flowing. Your mind is like this, it just flows. But once you start squeezing it, once you start getting tense and stressed, it doesn't flow the same way. And then this is what we call getting in your own way. So let's get out of your own way, use this simple technique, and enjoy the benefits and dividends it will bring you. Now, look, go ahead and subscribe, like this video. There's going to be a lot more information. And you can also go over to mastervisionary.com if you want to maybe have a free call and see what my From Stress to Success program is all about and how it's helped people not only change their professional status, their work status, but also the quality of life. Because what's the point of becoming successful if you're miserable? So I'm Tom Nicoli, and I'll see you next time.